Yes, guys, welcome back to Chasing Green Arrows. It's Monday. Game week 4's been and gone, but we got to talk game week 5 already because we got to start making a watch list and we got to think of players to get that perhaps we don't. Dean is fresh off his wild card. Dean, how are you, mate?
I'm delighted that I played my wild card, put it that way.
Bet every wild carder, every free hitter smashed it last week, and you're another one here.
Thank goodness, yeah. I mean, I worked out I got probably double the amount of points that I would have, maybe more, from the wild card. So yeah, and 82 points, which I'm happy with. Maliki says he got 113, which has put me in the shade. But yeah, 82, I'm very happy with.
Mate, that's insane. Yeah, I think I got 42 this game week. So yeah, you doubled my score.
Yeah, and it was like, bringing in Gehi, Munoz, Semenyo, like they all paid off, basically. Those were the three big ones that paid off for me. And there was a couple that gave me a little edge over what I had before. Salah, obviously, with his last-minute penalty as captain was extremely helpful.
So we got lucky. We got
very lucky. Like whether we... It's hard because it gives us all the dilemma over Salah because he's obviously like... They've changed the system clearly so that he isn't getting as many chances. And I don't know if he's out of form or if he's just not got the opportunity to play himself into form. But it's very weird. And when he still scores a last-minute penalty to get those points, it just makes you want to keep him in your team because it still pays in FPL, even though you're watching the game thinking, is he even playing? So very weird. Sigurd said, I think it was Sigurd said, this is the first time that Salah scores like this and doesn't get the 3 bonus points.
In a 1-0 win. Yeah.
In a 1-0 win.
Yeah, in a 1-0 win where your defenders haven't been worked much. The Liverpool defenders, they're getting a clean sheet point, but they're not doing much else. There's only 1 goal and assist to be given. The goal scorer usually gets the 3 bonus, and it's the match-winning goal as well, which gets you an extra boost in the BPS. And Salah just with the 1 bonus because he didn't do much else. And also the waiting on a penalty goal now, Sigurd. You'll remember this from pre-season, Dean, but one of the changes they made to the BPS was when you score in the BPS, a forward gets 24, a midfielder gets 18. And if you're a midfielder that scored a penalty, you got 18, or a forward that scored a penalty, you got 24. Now, if you score a penalty, no matter what position you are, you only get plus 10. So a penalty goal holds less weight in the bonus points than an actual goal. So if Salah scores an open play goal in a 1-0 win at the end of that football game, last kick of the game, scores a tap-in header, he does get 3 bonus, Sigurd. But because it was a penalty, he got 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for Salah, there's those... On our chat, you sent over some crazy stats about Mo Salah's first half against Burnley.
Oh, yeah, let's show that.
Burnley, right? What is expected to be the worst team in the league. The reason we're all captaining Mo Salah. And the stats for Mo Salah's first half against Burnley, it's just like he's not even playing. Like,
and it didn't get much better until the 90th.
You'd be like, is this even real? Like, you could have put anyone out there and they would have done this. That is just crazy. This is one of the best Premier League players of all time who they've just given a mega new contract to, and he's not in the game against the worst team in the league. Very, very strange. And yeah, as I say, like from a FPL perspective, we're still torn because on the eye test, he doesn't pass it. But ultimately, if he's going to still take penalties and Liverpool's still going to get them, he's still going to get points that we need.
Yeah, even when he does wear the best kit in the Premier League, we see in that green shirt.
I don't like it.
Oh, mate, it's so nice. Look at it.
I don't like it at all.
Oh, I love it. And I don't think that's on Salah. I think that's been photoshopped anyway.
I don't know why I don't like. I don't know why I'm so opposed to it compared to everyone else.
Shield for the logo, because again, we don't.
No, I don't mind the old school logo. Maybe I just don't like green. I think that might be the problem.
It reminds me of the sort of some of the old Germany kits. It's like Adidas with the Adidas retro logo as well.
Yeah, it's like loads of people are excited that Fulham have brought back that lime green kit, and I'm like, I like it because it's retro, but also I hated this kit at the time, so I don't suddenly love lime green kits.
I love it. We've got Ryan in the house, who's one of our chasers. He's catching a live stream for the first time in a while. Good day to all the chasers. CH saying, good to see you, Ryan. It's been a while. Fellow Canadian CH there. So yeah, good to have Ryan in the chat. Shout out, Ryan. And all of you joining us live. And if you're watching on catch up, hello to you lot as well. We're going to keep this fairly structured and go through a couple of the headline players that we're looking at. I mean, they're discussion points for game week 5 as well as reflection on 4, but we've put buy, hold, sell in the title, Dean. Like, is Salah he's just a hold, isn't he? He's not, for me, he's not a sell. But I think next week, there's going to be a ton of content creators that I know are selling Salah and getting Haaland. They will be going without Mo Salah for a good stretch because they need to get Haaland in their teams for game week 6. Is that something you would consider doing if you had to be one or the other?
If I had to be one or the other, then yeah. But nobody has to be one or the other.
No, I'm getting Haaland next week and I'm not selling Salah. Like, no.
So, I mean, yeah, I've said it since the day the game was launched. Like, you get Salah and Haaland, and you figure it out from there. Because, like, the fact that people haven't been on Haaland has just blown my mind, really.
Because I had the money to do it this week, Dean. We spoke about that second
I
transfer.
was so surprised.
Money on Watkins.
Because I was thinking, he must have had quite a good game week because he just bought in. And I looked, I was like, she didn't bring in Haaland, and I was
painful
shocked.
now. The 50-50 calls I keep getting wrong are painful. Like, it was a terrible call what I did. I can only blame myself for that. Had the money in the bank, had the free transfer, and didn't go Watkins to Haaland. But in my head, it was never like I'm going to do it. It was always a 50-50. And all the 50-50s I've made this season where I am literally coin toss, there's been 3 or 4 big ones, including Bruno or Cunha. I went Cunha, Captain Cunha. Like, they're all like, they've all fallen on the wrong side for me. All of them. I mean, but you're right. It's just silly, isn't it? Not having Haaland.
It's just really silly. Like, look at what we just showed for Salah. Obviously, slightly different stats here, but generally, like, he's a monster. Like, when he's on it, he's on it. And as I've said before, the way that Man City are playing this season, it's just like a filter system that's just being led towards him getting those chances in on goal. And now that we're seeing Foden come into the picture, he's only going to get more chances like that. The one that Foden fed through, I thought was different class. And so I just think if you've got the best goal scorer in world football in the game, you should probably pick him for your fantasy team. I think sometimes you just can't overcomplicate and think. People said, well, he's so expensive. I could get João Pedro and this guy, or I could do this and that. It's like, well, you could do, but you could just have the best player in the game. And then you figure it out from there. And somebody just made the point, Chris, no need to pick one or the other. DEFCON enablers are everywhere and no mid-tier players excelling. And it's true, right? Like, there are so many players now that you can actually go and find who are picking up good points. Like, whether you're picking Anthony at Burnley, whether you're getting Caicedo at Chelsea, whether you're getting, I don't know, whoever. Like, there's loads of them. Go and get an Everton
midfield list full of them, and
there is a midfield list full of them. Yeah,
5 million, like even 4.5. The Andersons and Senessis.
Yeah,
like,
go and get Palhinha, do whatever. Like,
yeah, I'm with you, and I've the reason I've got the money in the bank for Haaland is because I absolutely think that is the plan, and it's get both. And I will have by next week, but yeah, it's another week, and I'm happy going without Haaland this week, and that's why I didn't do it last. I looked at over 2 games and went, Arsenal's one of them, and he ain't getting any change out of Arsenal. I said Arsenal would go to Liverpool and park the bus, and it'd be 0-0 or 1-0, and it took a worldy free kick from Szoboszlai. Arteta will do exactly the same against City. Don't even watch it, guys. It's going to be the most boring game of football ever, because when Man City go to the Emirates, it's just going to be park the bus, boring Arsenal, and I guarantee it will be 0-0 or 1-0 either way.
But I'm still happy to have Haaland because, I've got Haaland, I've got Gyökeres, and
you wouldn't captain him though, would you? Not against Arsenal.
Probably wouldn't, but at the same time, I'm not really that confident in captaining Salah against Everton. But I will. I will just because it's a better. It is an easier fixture, but Everton, who knows? Who knows what happens in that game? But so I'll still go Salah captain this week. But obviously after this week, everyone and his dog is going to be on Man City assets, and particularly Haaland. So I'll have the edge for another week if people aren't brave enough to go there just because they're scared of it being Arsenal. Again, I'll say, like, it doesn't matter when it's Erling Haaland. He can score against anyone. It doesn't matter who he's playing against. Like, he might not go and score a hat-trick in this game, but I'm not concerned about this because if Man City score, it's gonna be Haaland. Like,
True, everything filters to him. And actually, do you know what? It was good watching him with Foden and Reinders as like dual 10s, 8-10 hybrids, if you like, one side, one the other. And I just felt like if they continue playing that system with Foden and Reinders supporting Haaland, it's got everything. And it was the first time they've played together as a trio. And you could tell it was the first time because there was a few passes missed. And I just thought when that clicks, especially the Reinders Haaland chemistry, which clearly hasn't had time to fully flourish, but they're players on the same wavelength. And there was a ball I think Reinders put through for Haaland in the first half, which was intercepted by someone in a Man City shirt because he didn't quite read the situation right. But it almost certainly would have been a goal and assist. And I just feel that the chemistry there is just two elite players. Reinders is going to do really well. Like, keep your patience with Reinders, guys. And remember how much you've spent on him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. He's cheap, and he is, and he's a player to have. I mean, I was pleased he missed his chance because I had him on the bench.
It was so close.
I can't believe he missed it.
I celebrated. I thought it was in.
I bet you did, and I like that would have kind of killed my progress that I made in my game week because I'd put him on the bench for this one and started Declan Rice, which didn't give me a good start.
Did Rice come on?
Yeah, he came on. Yeah, he actually nearly scored. He
nearly
scored. He actually had a pretty good game. But he got
so did Harvey Elliott in his 19 minutes.
Oh man, I can't believe that Harvey Elliott didn't start. But yeah, John McGinn was not on my bingo card to be in that role for that game.
The reason they went and bought Harvey Elliott because they had to play John McGinn out wide. Like, a few people warned me on that. We'll come off Haaland.
Yeah.
This is good for our chapters. We've done nice 5-minute chats down. Salah, then Haaland. Now we'll do Aston Villa. Mate, every Villa fan is like calling for Emery's head because he's not playing players like Elliott. But then I was warned pre-match. Emery takes a long time to integrate new signings. And history tells us this. But at the same time, I was like, needs must. You've not scored a goal. Villa play on Tuesday night in a game against Brentford in the League Cup. Harvey Elliott almost certainly plays. If he plays well, he comes in and starts Sunderland. If he doesn't play well, Emery will just go with John McGinn again. Like, I'm slightly worried that Harvey Elliott isn't going to be in this 11 as quickly as I thought. Where are you at with that? And then let's talk Watkins and Rodgers.
He's got to bring him in, mate. Like, they haven't scored a goal for 4 games. Like, he's
mad.
You know, he's right in his own P45 here. Like, you can't keep this going. I just cannot believe that this team haven't scored a goal yet. Like, from where they were last season to where they are now, without much really changing, there's going to been a complete mindset shift that is completely negative. And Elliott now just has to come into this team as soon as possible to give them some pizzazz and to unlock the door for some through balls for Watkins or whatever, because he's going to be getting the ump if he's not getting any chances soon. He already half wanted to leave in the summer. Like, if anyone comes knocking on the door for him, I don't know if they will, but if anyone comes knocking now, you know, this is a World Cup year for Watkins. He needs to be scoring goals. Like, if he wants to be firmly in the plans. So that's tricky. In fact, we can stick up the fixture list for this week. I think I did send it into the producer for what's coming up in game week 5. We might as well have that on the screen while we look at Villa and other games that we might want to be looking at for the week coming up. So we'll get the fixtures up on the screen. There you go. As you see, Aston Villa away to Sunderland next. Which, is it a good fixture? I don't know.
It's not now, is it? It doesn't feel like it feels like that's kind of a difficult one to call. Like, Sunderland at home are good. Sunderland have been impressive on the road too, like keeping a clean sheet against Palace. Like, this is going to be a tight, scrappy 1-0 either way, isn't it?
Right. So yeah, Sunderland are 7th in the league. They obviously won their first game at home. They beat West Ham 3-0. Then they lost to Burnley 2-0 away, which was kind of like, oh, maybe this side aren't any good. Then they got that 2-1 win over Brentford, and they've just drawn 0-0 with Crystal Palace. Like, those last 2 results are really strong results. They're not conceding that many goals, and I think they'll really fancy their chances of getting another big result here. Like, they'll go on to 10 points if Sunderland can beat Aston Villa. And they'll be like, this side are there for the taking. They're vulnerable. They've got no confidence about them. All Sunderland have to do is keep this game in the balance for 85 minutes and then go for it. And they've got a real knack for going for it at the end of games and getting something. They did it last season in the Championship and won promotion because they just went for it at the end. They've done it this season. At the end of games, they've come through. And I wouldn't bet against Sunderland beating Aston Villa in this game week. And I certainly wouldn't want to be trusting Ollie Watkins. Rodgers, I would have a little bit more patience with, I think. But probably, you know, if I was wildcarding or a free hitting, like they would both be gone for me. Like I just couldn't stick around anymore because your rank's getting hit week after week after week, and content creators are really struggling with this.
I mean, a lot of the double up of Rodgers and Watkins. Let's just look at the XG chart of the season so far. Guess who's right at the bottom, by the way? Carry on, Dean.
Yeah, well, exactly. And, you know, people are obviously trying to stick by it, just assuming that it has to change, right? It has to change. Aston Villa cannot stay this low because they're a good team. But there's not any signs of it, man. Like, Wolves right down there with them. Obviously, they're rivals, so they can compete for who's going to be the worst team in the season and the goal front this season. But yeah, they're just not creative. That's the biggest worry, you know. It's like that they don't even have a high XG in terms of what they should be doing. It's not like they're missing chances here. They're not even making chances. They're not even getting into positions, and that shouldn't be the case when they've got so many attacking options to be calling on. And yeah, Dan says Sunderland's recruitment has been decent, to be fair. And it has. Sunderland pushed the boat out in that transfer window. They absolutely went for it. And so far, it looks like it will pay off. Obviously, their XG isn't very high, like when you look at that.
They've been efficient. And so have Burnley, and Leeds. They're all down there for XG, but they've actually they've come up and scored goals. Like maybe not Leeds, but Sunderland and Burnley have managed it.
Yeah, exactly that. So very interesting one to try to figure out. But ultimately, I think I would be looking to ditch my Villa assets right now. But look, wherever your game week is right now, like if you're not doing very well, I wouldn't worry too much because, as I say, like, you know, I don't watch loads of YouTube content creators, but actually in the last 24 hours, I have flicked through a few channels just to see how people are getting on. And they're not doing well at all, are they? Like some people typically.
No, I'm at 5 million rank, and I'm kind of middling for where content creators would be. Like I'm not bad, which at 5 million I should be. Yeah. I'm kind of in the middle.
And I looked like one of the ones I always look at is Harry FPL just to see how he's getting on, and he's 4.7 mil.
Is he?
Yeah.
And I'm so there's probably like 2 points between us, and you know he never would have had a start to the season anywhere near this.
I was wondering that myself. I thought I wonder how this compares for him to how he started any season before. And you know, from off the top of my head, he still had in his game week 5, he still had Bruno Fernandes. He still had, I can't remember if he had Watkins and Rodgers or Watkins or Rodgers. It was one of them. He was at least he was still going with.
Yeah,
I was like, "You're mad, man!" Like,
mate, they've all got Bruno though. Bruno is the content
creator
darling pick.
Why?
DEFCON and the floor. I heard a content creator that I love last week say, "There's no essential player in the game at the moment, but if there is, maybe it's just." In fact, I'll call him out because he's a friend. He wouldn't mind me doing this. Praz, who is again, in fact, content creators all watch Praz because he's that good.
Yeah.
He said something like, "There's no must-have pick in the game this season, but if there was one, or as close to it as you'll find, is insert Gianni's comment last week, João Pedro, insert Praz's comment last week, Bruno Fernandes."
Mate, that absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah, like me too. To be fair, I've not considered Bruno, but then I massively regret not bringing him in and captaining in game week 3 when everyone else did. I went, couldn't you?
But what is it? Like, I'm going to have to
look
look
at the floor. He's got the 4-point floor because he should get DEFCON most weeks. Now, he didn't yesterday. Oh, man, I don't think that was a joke. Praz loves... he says, don't do Praz like that. Oh, God, this is why I didn't want to mention the name. I'm not even going to comment.
Yeah, G's not trying to dig anyone out here, by the way, at all. But Bruno Fernandes' points so far this season... First game, 2 points. Second game, 2 points. Third game against Burnley at home, 10 points. Fourth game, 2 points.
Yeah, he's only had DEFCON once, I think.
Was it once? And it was Burnley at home.
Yeah, but for all the premiums, he is the one that can get DEFCON or close to it in terms of the premium attackers.
What's he
I
going to
just
pay
don't like
9
the Man
million
United
for that?
fixtures, I guess.
£9
But
million.
the XG, to be fair, 8.29. They are second in the chart we're looking at. They have created a lot this year, and Bruno is responsible for a lot of that.
I can't remember too many chances I expected Bruno Fernandes himself to score, though. I mean, obviously, I go a lot of eye test, and I'm so unimpressed by Bruno Fernandes this season. He's playing terribly, terribly. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch for the Man City game. That'll go down for me to either Luke Shaw or Agate, I think. But
Luke Shaw for me.
I mean, Luke Shaw should never be allowed on the same pitch as Erling Haaland again.
And not a left centre back. If you're going to play him, just stick him as a wing back.
That's not fair on Luke Shaw anymore.
It's
You've got an elite athlete in Erling Haaland who's making Luke Shaw genuinely look like he's an amateur footballer at that point.
Looks like a darts player.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Shaw's an extremely gifted, talented technician. He's been a superb footballer, but at this stage, don't let him be in a situation where he might be chasing Erling Haaland or have.
And then he put Maguire on to chase Haaland at the end of the game.
It's just absolutely shocking. Nikolai says Agate was miles better than Bruno. I don't agree personally. I thought Agate was terrible. Even the lack of effort from Agate is shocking me at the moment. I don't understand what is going on with that team. But yeah, it is what it is. That team was utterly shameful in that performance. I genuinely thought that Amorim could come up with a plan for that Man City game. They could get a shock result, and I feel embarrassed to have said that now because they are just time and time again. Amorim's just so stubborn, and it's going to end up surely costing him his job. We'll have to wait and see. But absolutely ridiculous performance. But yeah, let's. Nicholas, I think he was joking
on Ollie Watkins. Is he a buy, hold, or sell? I'm still saying he's a hold sell because it's Sunderland. I'm going to give him that.
No, stop it.
I know.
You have to stop this. Everyone does. Get rid of him.
Who's going to get more points in game week 5? Watkins or Haaland?
Probably Haaland.
I don't think so. I think if you gave me £5 and said bet on one of them to get more FPL points, I would put that £5 on Ollie Watkins against Sunderland and Haaland against Arsenal.
Honestly,
next week, different story. But this week, I think you hold him. If you don't own João Pedro, you move there. Because it's similar price point. That's the problem. That's half the reason why so many have kept hold of Ollie Watkins. There is no alternative going, pick me, I'm 9 million and I'm brilliant. A few went Gyökeres, fine. But again, fixtures aren't there.
I've got Gyökeres and I'm keeping him because I think he'll score in every home game.
I'm going to be transferring Watkins to Gyökeres in 7 or 8. But yeah, I think I might have Watkins in my team till game week 8, which is mad.
I just can't believe it. Erling Haaland's season so far, right?
Oh, God. I think we've got Haaland graphic.
First game of the season he played, Man City beat Wolves 4-0. Haaland scored 2. Second game, they lost 2-0 to Tottenham, so obviously didn't score. Since then, he's played 4 matches, scored in a 2-1 defeat to Brighton, scored in Norway's 1-0 win over Finland, scored 5 in Norway's 11-1 win over Moldova, scored 2 in Man City's 3-0 win over Man United. So he scored 8, 9. Hang on.
I think we've got a graphic showing it.
He scored 11 goals in 6 games, and you're backing Ollie Watkins, who hasn't even come close to scoring 1. That doesn't make any sense.
It's Arsenal.
It doesn't make any sense.
If it was any other fixture but Arsenal, and I would go, no, Gianni, go obviously.
What, so Man City can't get a penalty against Arsenal?
I don't think they
will.
Man
City can't score a goal with Foden running at people, slips Haaland in behind, and he scores. Arsenal are going to concede goals.
Arsenal, I mean, they've conceded 1 all season, and it was a worldie free kick. In 5 games, CH asked this earlier, in 4 Premier League games, why does no one have an Arsenal defender in their team? We don't. Because the fixtures weren't good. And
it's funny, I actually I was doing my kids were doing their transfers the other day, and I encouraged one of them to get Calafiori into his team.
I've just put him in my Champions League team.
Yeah.
4.5 million. Now you've got to spend 5.5 for Gabriel or 5 for Timber. I've won Calafiori straight in my UCL fantasy.
Yeah, it's
By the way, and Bamba Dike Ape said Bamboo Ape says, you guys playing Fantasy Champions League? Are you, Dean? Because I've just recorded a team reveal, which I'm going to put out on my channel. I was waiting for Chasing Green Arrows to finish, and then I might do it later this evening. So keep your eyes on my YouTube channel if you want some Champions League coverage.
No, I'm not. I will be covering every Champions League game, I imagine, for Ranks FC. If you want to go and listen to a podcast, go and listen to Ranks FC. Thank you. Big shouts out.
You're hiding Champions League coverage between fantasy on my channel and Ranks FC on for actual football.
Oh, mate, there's so much Champions League this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is Champions League. Like,
you get to change your captain in the fantasy game. It's brilliant. So I can change my
Are they
captain
doing that
3
thing?
times.
Okay.
So usually it's 2 times. Now it's 3 this week.
Yeah.
It's the only time it's 3, right? They'll be back Tuesday, Wednesday only.
Yeah. Mark says no Arsenal is nailed on since there are so many of them.
Well, Timber and Calafiori, I think, have started all 4 games, both of them. But I know Ben White's been out. But I
can't see Calafiori not playing many times. Obviously, now we've got Champions League coming in. That this is going to change, and obviously, I've just been
get some early subs, but that's fine.
Yeah, like I've been burned on Declan Rice, but like ultimately, like Declan Rice will still play the majority of games. Like it was possibly a bad time for me to bring him in on. Yeah, I can see that now, but like.
No, mate.
Even
I
after
not see that coming, that was out of the.
I was out of the blue. Mate, I woke up. It was like the Arsenal game was kicking off at like 4:30 a.m. here, and I randomly woke up at 3:30 a.m. and saw what the time was, and like, the first thing that came into my head was Arsenal lineups are out, and I was like, okay, well I'll have a quick look at the score. I don't intend to get out for this game. I'll just look at the lineup. Sorry, and I was like, obviously a bit blurry eyed, and I was like, where's Rice? What? Where's Rice? And I looked at, I was like, is he injured? And I looked down, he's sub. And I'm like, he's sub. That means he's coming on for 1 point.
Yeah, you knew he was getting off the bench as well. But I did the same with Harvey Elliott. I had to double take. I was like, really?
Later on, watched the extended highlights of the game. I was like, actually, Rice should have scored. Like, could have been a decent pick. So I'm sticking with it. Declan Rice will serve me well over the course of the season. And I'm sticking largely with my wildcard team. Like I think generally this is going to serve me well for a few weeks. So I'm going to try not to make any knee-jerk reactions.
Okay, nice.
To decisions like that.
On Ollie Watkins, by the way, speaking of not being too knee-jerk, 41% are with me. They would hold him. But 58% say sell. But it's a proper split pot there. All right, let's move off. Let's go to... Should we go Isak and Wirtz? Should we talk a little bit Liverpool? Because we've spoken about Salah, but Isak.
Yeah, I think we've got a little. If we've got the card that we'd put up for Isak, I can't remember if I sent it to the producer or not in the end.
Yeah, I think I saw something in the group.
Yeah, so obviously, like Isak didn't even travel with Liverpool to the Burnley game.
I didn't expect that. I did expect something. 10 minutes off the bench, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why that would necessarily be the case. I find it a little bit strange. But anyway, here's the quote from Arne Slot going into this week. He is ready to play at least 45 minutes. Let's see if we will use that on Wednesday or on Saturday.
So if he gets 45 on Wednesday, what does that mean for Saturday?
He's hinting that he won't be getting another one. But
I know he's not in a pre-season, but come on, he's not injured.
Yeah. And also I don't believe it. What if he comes on Wednesday? He's not going to start and take him off after 45 minutes, I don't think.
No, and he's not. He says play at least 40. I wonder if it's 30 and he just gets a 30 minute, because who makes halftime subs nowadays? Like
not many people. So I'm imagining he comes on as sub in the Champions League this week.
Half an hour.
Obviously depends how the game's going and what they need from him. But say max half hour. And then after that, we see if Isak comes on, scores a big goal in the Champions League and he's played half hour, are you really telling me that he's not starting the Merseyside derby?
Yeah, like give him 60 versus Everton.
Even if you think, give him 55, come on. I don't believe that you're managing his minutes that heavily at this stage that he can't do that. Maybe I'm wrong, obviously. FPL Freddy says Isak's played 20 minutes since May.
Yeah, and it was 20 minutes for Sweden the other day. That's his first 20 of pre-season, and now he's ready for 45 or 60. There's a lot of players that come into pre-season and play 3 lots of 60 back-to-back in 10 days.
Yeah. He isn't going to play in both games, says Max. Slot does make halftime subs, says Richard.
Kirkes was actually about 37
Kirkes,
minutes.
exactly. Yeah. To be fair, if there is, maybe Slot could play Isak Villa just for the first 25 minutes of the Merseyside derby. Maybe he's going to do something like that.
And Kwanzaa was a halftime sub. Game week 1 against Ipswich last season, to be fair, because I had him in my FPL team. I remember it well. But yeah. Okay, what about Wirtz, Dean? What's your take there? Because again, us Wirtz owners, if we've been holding Watkins too long, you could say exactly the same. We've not had a return yet from Florian Wirtz, although he does get the clean sheet point. The 3-pointer feels a little bit better. And we've seen 2 3-pointers and 2 2-pointers. The wait continues. Keep, hold, or sell.
I hate to say again, I told you so, but same old story. Wirtz isn't an FPL player.
He's going to be. He's going to be.
I said from the start, I was like, Wirtz is unlikely to... I wish I knew exactly what I said, but my feeling was that he was unlikely to bang early doors.
You did say that. And I said, no, I've owned him in fantasy games before. I've owned him in UCL Champions League. He's really... UCL fantasy is really good. But yeah,
getting in among goals and assists in those first games, I was never convinced by it. And I'm glad that my hunch turned out to be true. Dylan says he's going to cook at some point. Of course he is. Like, he's Florian Wirtz. He's unbelievable. But Seb says Wirtz doesn't even look dangerous right now. And he's right.
But Liverpool don't. That's the thing. It's not like Liverpool performing well and Gakpo and Ekitike and Salah are all firing in these goals and assists. No, for 2 weeks, we've had nothing from Gakpo, Ekitike or Salah. So he's just a reflection of the attack at the moment. He's not bad. The attack is bad.
You sell him.
I'm holding him for Everton. And then regardless, he could score a hat-trick versus Everton and I'm selling him because he's how I'm getting Haaland. I'm going Guiu to Haaland, not Watkins to Haaland. And then I need Wirtz to go down to an enabler. And I'm thinking I'll spend 4.5 on Josh King and just bench him third sub every week.
Yeah, interesting. Sorry, just a quick reminder from CH. He says, Chasers, double check that you are subscribed and have your notifications on. YouTube has been unsubscribing again. While you're at it, don't forget to like. Yeah, watch out for that, people. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel.
Can YouTube do that?
Weird thing to do.
I mean,
I'm guessing it's a glitch. Someone sat there just randomly going through it, unsubscribing people from accounts just to annoy them rather than keep them on their platform. Seems strange, but I don't disbelieve anything that CH tells me. So just check that you are subscribed. Thank you to 250 people, whatever's here right now watching. If you're on catch up, thank you for being here. Hopefully the chat that we're having today should last for most of the week, right? We are looking towards game week 5 and slightly reflecting on game week 4 and where it leaves us. Halal says Wirtz is so expensive to hold, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no obvious replacement, though. And the only replacement, an obvious mid-price player that has massively put his hand up in midfield this season, is Semenyo. And if you don't have Semenyo, then Wirtz to Semenyo makes sense. If you don't have a greater plan that needs you to, I don't know, needs you to keep Wirtz down to an enabler like me, and not go Semenyo. And that is one of the issues I've got in my team. I'm currently not getting.
You're being
Semenyo.
Very faithful to some players at the moment, mate. And
I'm trying to be more patient this year. Last year I was too aggressive.
But last
year
I'm
being too patient.
Did you start badly? Did you have a really bad start last year? I can't remember.
Probably. I'm terrible at looking back and remembering.
Yeah, I am too. I remember I had a good start last year. That's why it sticks out for me.
Yeah, you did. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, mate. We all then copied you and he flopped.
And look, the only reason I'm 3 million or something right now, which doesn't sound great, but actually it's not bad.
Take that.
But game week 1, I did really well. A fresh team, ready for 1 game week. Second week, rubbish. Third week, rubbish. Fourth week, I've wild carded. Good week. Fresh team for 1 game week.
Yeah.
So honestly, I might
let's come off of it. I can't look at these points anymore.
I might just free hit this week. I might just keep it going.
I'm going to do
all my chips week after week after week.
I'm going to do a free hit video on chasing green arrows. It will be out Wednesday or Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So again, more reason to have notifications set if you want to see my free hit draft. But newsflash, it's not. If you've got loads of Arsenal or Man City players, it's worth considering. But it's not the strongest free hit. There isn't those matchups where you go big team, little team. I mean, you could say that with Aston Villa, Sunderland, but that's just not. You're not going to go triple Villa, right?
No.
So yeah, okay. Guys, thank
Yeah.
you for all your comments. If you like the sort of structure of today's show, it's a little bit different. Sometimes we review the matches on a Monday. We're trying to avoid talking too much about the matches and just look forward. And if you like this format of picking out some key transfer targets, which is what we've been doing, then we'll absolutely stick to it. So let us know.
Yeah.
All I'd say about rank is, honestly, I'm really not looking at my rank probably for the first 10 weeks. Like, it's so tight. And also, don't forget, the vast majority of managers in the good ranking spots have spunked all their chips because we got double chips this season. Of course, it's slightly different. Fair play to Nathan Bacon, YouTuber. A lot of fun. I love Nathan. He's used all his chips, but he's at 2K. And again,
That's
he did
the
this
thing,
last
right?
season.
He's
He wanted
nailed
to
it.
say I'm at former world number 7 because I've,
Well, the thing is, like, people be like, well, he's used them now, so he's done. It's like, yeah, but people might be saving theirs and not use them as effectively. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to pay off for him. He could steal from here, save some transfers, and maintain a good rank. Like, he just got to maintain now rather than catch up.
Yeah, and as you say, like, who's to say they're going to use their chips effectively? What I'd say about all the weeks so far this season, they've all come with big, big green arrows when it's been obvious to play a free hit or a wild card. Dean's a prime example of that in game week 4. But all those that free hit in game week 4, friend of the show, Chai, he free hit game week 4. He's gone from something like 5 million to like 200,000 or something just off a free hit. Like, it's mad. But yeah, it's paid off. All right, let's have a look at a couple of other players. Cole Palmer, Dean. I think he's a bit of a rotation risk because I think he's clearly managing something. And games like Bayern Munich are so important for Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be a 90-minute man during the Champions League weeks. Always. At times he will be.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see Buonanotte starting a game yet.
Mate, you'd have got amazing odds on that.
That was completely out of the blue for me.
This is nice. CH, good work.
This is really good because I tried to make one of CH and it was nowhere near
your
as good as
attempt.
that was like my chat GPT is not doing a good job of making graphics at all at the moment. Like the one that you saw was
sorry, Dean, go on.
Yeah, go on.
No. Can our producer, which was a note for our producer, can you please send CH your mobile number? Because CH apparently emailed me this and I never got it.
Yeah, CH, this is unreal. So yeah, Cole Palmer's next game against Man United away. Yeah, on the back of playing Bayern Munich in midweek, which, look, the goal he scored against Brentford was different class. The way that Cole Palmer, a guy who's under pressure to score because he's had such a bad year domestically in terms of his goal returns and stuff, and you would be perceived to be under pressure in a moment like that, just retains this coolness and rather than spank it, just slots it in. Like, very, very impressive to do that. Doesn't make me want him. Doesn't really make me want him. But the only thing I'd say is I do expect Chelsea to go to Old Trafford and win. Like, surely they go there and they put them in their place because this is a chance for Chelsea to lay a marker. A real missed opportunity for Chelsea at the weekend to let Brentford take something from that game. If Chelsea are going to even lay half a claim to a title challenge this season, which they should be doing, they should be close to those top 2 positions this season. They shouldn't be throwing away games like this. Chelsea started slowly and they ended badly, and they can't really allow for that to happen. Man United, I think, is a good chance for them to take advantage of a team that are not feeling very confident. Garnacho is going to score, says Sushant. Seb says Palmer captain or João Pedro captain for me this week. And I think these are all examples of people potentially looking to target Man United as a weak team this week.
Yeah, and captaincy is going to be a big one. I think that'll be our other pre-recorded video this week, Dean. We will talk captaincy. Is it João Pedro versus Salah? Or is it, as Seb says, maybe Palmer needs to be part of that captaincy conversation this week. If you own him, of course, a lot more managers own João Pedro and Salah, but I don't hate Palmer. If I owned Palmer, I don't hate it. Let's see how many minutes he gets versus Bayern Munich. That could form part of the argument. I feel like 90 minutes versus Bayern Munich would put me off because I don't see him getting 90 then straight after. Yeah, okay. Eze, Dean, got an assist for Arsenal. We saw Arsenal fairly comfortable versus Forest. Madueke gets the headlines. Unfortunately, Madueke is not an FPL asset for me because as soon as Saka's back, I don't think he goes Madueke down the left. I don't think, well, we know Madueke is not as good on the left. And I feel like Eze will play well enough to earn that spot. And we're going to see Saka one side, Eze the other. And annoyingly for Madueke, so frustrating, he's going to have to take his place as an impact sub, which annoying. He's got one of the world's best right forwards in front of him, both for England and Arsenal, because that's his position, isn't it? Madueke is better on the right. Do you see him coming in on the left or?
Not really, no. I don't think, I wouldn't personally do that. I think Madueke's got a lot better, not just since he joined Arsenal. I think it had started before that.
Absolutely, it did. He was good at Chelsea. It's just he wasn't good enough. And
I give him a lot of credit for the fact that a friend of mine actually coaches him one-on-one, and I know that Madueke has been working on like just being a second faster, not half a second faster even, in his like deliberation in the box. Like, is that shot coming or is that pass coming? And just make that decision that split second earlier to get the right consequence. And you can tell that he's worked on that, actually, Madueke. A lot more directness to him, I think. And we're going to get more end product as the season comes through. But yeah, I personally wouldn't be picking him at 7 million. Eze at 7.5. Yeah. Would I pick him? I don't think so. I don't think I'd go for Eze yet. I think Eze's awesome, but I don't know. Like Linen says, Eze at 10 while Odegaard is out. I mean, that is the position that Arsenal see at Eze playing. Like he's supposed to be signed as a number 10 alternate and not a wide man. Obviously, we've only really seen him out wide so far for Arsenal. But if you can go 0.5 up, you can get to Phil Foden. Would you consider Foden to be better pick than Eze? Because Foden, if he's now found his groove, is going to be playing every week.
That still is a huge question mark for me for the minutes. We need to see him play 2 or 3 on the bounce, sets of 75 minutes.
But after Arsenal, it's Burnley and Brentford.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee picks him. It's Pep, remember? And I know there's injuries, and that's massively helped his cause. The fact there was no Marmoush, no Cherky. But out of nowhere, we saw Oscar Bob benched. We all thought Oscar Bob would start. And seeing Bernardo on the right-hand side, by the way, Dorgu had Bernardo on. It was such a weird matchup. Like little Bernardo being tanked by Dorgu first half. I was like, what's going on here? Give Bob a turn, who's at least got a turn of pace and a trick. But he loves Bernardo and he'll always fit him in. And there was no space for him centrally, so he played him on the right. But, out of nowhere, Oscar Bob was benched is my point. And that could happen to Foden against Burnley. And when you bring in Man City players, you need them to play the really good fixtures. And you just don't know with Pep because he changes his system as well as his personnel, his individual personnel every match day. Players like Reinders are key in lots of different systems that Pep has. Who knows where Foden, he might now just go, Foden can't be out wide. Foden's got to be a 8-10 hybrid. Great, but that'll mean there's loads of games he doesn't see him as a good pick. So yeah, I wouldn't go there in FPL yet. And if I'm not going there, Christ, it says something.
Yeah, I mean, you love a Foden pick, whereas I don't typically. But there were just signs of life there in Foden. The way that Pep spoke about him afterwards too just gave me a bit of hope. It's difficult. There's so many games coming up for Man City. They've got Napoli midweek, then they've got Arsenal, and they've got an EFL Cup game against Huddersfield. Then they've got Burnley, and then straight after that they've got Monaco. So it's a real packed little schedule, and guessing who plays when is absolutely it's a lottery.
Yeah, I don't think that was for me. Okay, let's talk. Where should we go next? Should we talk a bit about Spurs? Because Xavi Simons came in, played on the left-hand side. I expect him to play 10, but Bergwijn played really well in the 10. I watched Spurs, though, and I keep coming back to the fact Xavi Simons is great, 7 million, whatever. The pick is still Mohamed Kudus, who got 90, should have scored late on. Porro put it on a plate for him. Kudus is going to be the Mbermo for Thomas Frank. I've got no doubt about it. I don't ignore the fact that Kudus has been poor in terms of FPL output last few weeks. He's still looking very good.
He is, yeah. Tottenham have a chance to go on a bit of a tear as well. They really have an opportunity given the fixtures that are coming up. Like, I don't know how Frank is going to deal with Champions League football. Like, Haven't seen him cope with that. So I don't know how he balances the squad out. But when you look at their Premier League games, they've got Brighton away, who, Brighton have not lived up to pre-season expectations so far. I'm not saying, I don't think they're miles off of it. I think there's very fine margins at the moment with Brighton. But certainly Tottenham can have some optimism around that. But beyond that, they then got Wolves at home, Leeds away, Aston Villa at home. Like, that's a nice little run, I think, for Tottenham. And I think that there's reasons to back them to take advantage of this spell. Now, obviously, like, what throws a spanner into the works is that Bournemouth game and that defeat where they barely made a chance. They should have lost by more than the amount that they did. But the trend so far has been that Thomas Frank's come up with game plans for occasions and is actually quite trustworthy. So Kudus, somebody I think I had him first week of the season. I've certainly had him at some stage already. Is somebody that, I like a lot. And I think that you're right, is going to be very, very important to this Tottenham setup, and he will get the output eventually. What amount is he at the moment, Kudus? How much are we having to pay for
6.5?
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
He's 7 in UCL fantasy, and I've put him in. I'm paying 7 in UCL fantasy, and he's in my team, and I'm not paying the 6.5 in FPL, which is mad. But
interesting, yeah.
Mate, give me your thoughts on Kevin, because you mentioned Kevin in the WhatsApp. Mate. And I know you're excited about Kevin.
He was absolutely unbelievable.
Was he actually? Because he didn't create. He wasn't involved in the goal, and he
wasn't involved in the goal. He said he made the corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
didn't take the corner though, did he?
No, he didn't take the corner, but it was his shot was going in the top corner and was saved and went wide as the corner comes, and then Leeds very thankfully just decide to head one straight in for us. He completely changed the game, mate. Fulham were not going to score in a month for Sundays, and he came on and just brought the game, just gave the game something you did not see coming. It was like prime Ronaldo. And I mean, both Ronaldos joined together, R9 and CR7. He's like a king of step-overs. He made good decisions on the ball. Am I getting giddy? Yes. It won't always come off, but on this occasion, Leeds didn't know what to do. They've barely seen the bloke before, no one's really heard of him before. He's been at Shakhtar Donetsk. Most people are not seeing it. Obviously, Leeds would have checked him out in terms of, what he's capable of, and I'm sure that recruitment teams were aware of him. Fulham spent a long time trying to negotiate with Shakhtar because they wanted like £45 million almost. And Fulham ended up paying 34 because they kept going and going and going. It's a record amount for Fulham to pay for a player. So, it beats out the Smith Rowe deal that we did last year. And I hope this one turns out to be a better deal. Smith Rowe started well for Fulham initially, didn't he? But then he went off the boil. But Kevin, he was exciting. And I think he'll get his full debut this weekend. I think he'll be impossible to ignore.
Interesting. How much is he in FPL? Was he 6? I think he is. I think he's 6. I think Chukwueze maybe at 5.5 or something. Or 6
I'm not sure.
as well. But okay, nice guys. We'll look at some questions if you have them. Actually, people are asking about Kevin's price point. There you go. 6 million. Kevin is both Ronaldos. There we go. Guys, we'd love you to hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. So if you've enjoyed the show tonight or you've got anything from it, then do please. Also, we bang on about the word subscribe, but we're just going to do a poll now from those watching. So please vote with honesty. I expect it's like 95%, but are you subscribed? Yes or no? We're just going to poll that. We just want your honest opinion. And then we know if we're talking to 2% of no's or 22% of no's.
I've got a lovely quote on screen now. We can throw up from CH. Like, look at this. This is why I love our regulars. Like, this is the best FPL community. Hosts are informed. They have a great camaraderie. The chat is great too. We love this. We need a little list of the greatest quotes of the season. Thank you, CH. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you so much for being here, for subscribing, for liking, whatever you like to do. Let's get some questions in and give the people what they want. And let's start with Dan, who says, don't suppose Kevin takes penalties. I don't think so. The best way to describe him is like Willian with legs.
Right? Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
bit like that. Like he plays similarly to what we got from Willian, but he just got like loads of energy. He's 22 years old. Chris says, is Nore to Munoz the most obvious transfer, even if that leaves me holding the dreaded Ollie Watkins?
Yes. Get Munoz in your team. He's had a 5, a 5, a 9, and was it a 6 this
He got a
weekend?
yellow card at the weekend, didn't he? That was
Was it a
annoying.
5 again? He's not had a 6 yet. 3 5s and a 9. Like,
Yeah.
Munoz is the best defender in the game.
Yeah, I think so.
Cucurella's definitely not a sell. He was just rotating like Declan Rice. He just missed the game. Like, honestly, watching Hato play the Cucurella role, he was so uncomfortable because he was being asked to not only invert but be really attacking, and he kept finding himself on the edge of like the D, and it was like he didn't know what to do. No, they didn't want to pass it to him, and he barely touched the ball in the first half. He got hooked at half time. Cucurella's going to score goals because when Chelsea play with that inverted left back high up the pitch, he's like a number 10. It's unbelievable. Like, I want Cucurella in my team.
I want Cucurella in my team too. I think he's a... Don't sell him, Dylan. What is Kevin going to start? I don't know because he only came on for 20 minutes, but they are so excited about him, and it's a West London derby. There's obviously the chance that they go with a tried and trusted team and then bring him on for impact again. So I can't guarantee it, but it'll be hard to resist given what he just done.
Yeah, okay, good questions. What do you think about Langer? Guys, I wouldn't touch him. And if I owned him, Jacob Murphy played well. Like, he's missed the last 2 Langer. I don't think he's been in the 11. So, yeah, like Jacob Murphy will be feeling a bit bruised that they went and got Langer after such a good Murphy season. But yeah, there's going to be rotation with Champions League. I expect Langer plays versus Barcelona and then Murphy again in the Premier League, maybe. But I would not have him as an FPL pick.
Yeah, absolutely. 5-3-2 going forward with clean sheets.
No, that's silly. But back fours, like everyone's talking about a back 5, and everyone's saying that has a back 3. How about you just go to a 4? Like, come on.
Let's go somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I would still make the most of being able to have a 4.0 playing outfield player. You can only do that with defenders. So you want a Goodmanson or an Esteve on your bench. But play 4-4-2. Guys, I've said it all pre-season. I've set up as 4-4-2 going into game week 1.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. Would a bench boost with Dubravka, Dewsbury Hall, Pedro Porro and Esteve be an option this weekend? Burnley play against Nottingham Forest. So that's a couple of them taken care of for that home game, which they will win against Ange Postecoglou. Dewsbury Hall, who have Everton got? Liverpool away. Pedro Porro is away to Brighton with Tottenham. It's not bad. Like, I don't think you're going to get a huge haul from it, but I've definitely seen worse bench boosts than that.
Yeah.
We've just been gifted some memberships, mate. Ryan Potter, the mighty
Legend.
Ryan, makes his return and just starts dishing out gifts. Thank you so much, mate. What a top man.
Time to pay the piper to support for the chat. There we go, Ryan. You're a legend, mate. Thank you so much. The 5.5 mids. Caicedo isn't going to score 2 in 4 much in his career. And Zubamendi's not going to score 2 in 4 much in his career. Elliot Anderson, I still think is the best of the 3. He got DEFCON at the weekend.
Yeah, I think Anderson's the best as well. Can Gahey match Munoz? I've got both of them, but I'm not, it's really a short-term play. Gahey's just like such good value. Munoz is definitely the better pick, but if you want Gahey as well, then there'll be times I think that the double up works well like it did for me this weekend.
Yep, fair.
By the way, I saw somebody mention earlier, is there a WhatsApp group? Yes, there is. If you go to the homepage and you become a member of Chasing Green Arrows, if you take the higher tier, which I think is like £1 difference, something like that, then you will get to join our WhatsApp elite members group. We've got a good bunch in there. They are very chatty. It's not just FPL. They watch other football too. A couple of the lads in there clearly like to do some accumulator bets as well, which always makes a fun chat. So if you want to join the FPL CGA community in more detail, then you can join the WhatsApp group. Just look on the homepage and sign up.
Well said. Kevin's also gifting memberships. What is going on?
Awesome. You guys are too friendly.
Hey, we're going to have to make sure we do a channel members video each this week, aren't we?
We are actually. I've been a bit slack on that. You've been good.
Remind us on Wednesday to do that because I don't want to forget. You guys deserve it.
You've been quite good at that, mate. So yeah, well done.
Yeah. My membership didn't renew, says Paul. The CJ chat is really nice. So it doesn't always auto renew. So just check that. Would you go Reinders to Anderson this week on bench? No, Reinders is amazing. Reinders is still the best. Like, he's playing number 10 for Man City. Like, Reinders is sensational. And he gets 90.
Yeah.
He gets 90.
Igor Thiago. I don't know if I have many thoughts on Igor Thiago.
Don't go
Apart
there.
from, I don't think he just hasn't come into my thinking so far, Octa. So yeah, I'm just going to say don't pick him at this stage. Quite simple, really.
Paul's gifted memberships now.
This is lovely, isn't it? Everyone's just so friendly here. You lovely people. Love seeing the chat turn green. Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? Very helpful.
The best mid under 7 million for game week 5. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can. Like, it's Semenyo, but he's not under 7, but he's close to it if you can find the money. I don't think there's anyone at sort of 7 million or 6.5. You're like, I probably could us.
Yeah. Who's Johnson?
Brennan? No, he's not an option.
I'd forgotten Brennan Johnson was an FPL asset. I was like, well, that really threw me. I was like, Johnson? No, he's not at the moment. He's not at the moment. No.
Get him off.
Not.
Play Harvey Elliott or Reinders. I would wait and see how Harvey Elliott plays on Tuesday night. If he has a worldy game, scores goals, Emery has to pick him against Sunderland. Therefore, you start Harvey Elliott. If he doesn't play really well on Tuesday night or get the minutes on Tuesday night, play Reinders. Guys, that is all we've got time for. We will be back with some midweek videos. There'll be 2 dropping this week, so the notification bell is your friend. One will be on a free hit team, which is useful to see what players you should buy. And the other one, it's going to be a big discussion on captaincy because it's Palmer, if you own him, versus Salah versus João Pedro. Don't particularly want to captain any of them, but you're not going for a Man City player versus Arsenal. So watch this space. But for now, he's been Dean, I've been Gianni. You lot have been the amazing chasers. CH has been one of our mods. We love you very much, and we'll see you in the next.